Good evening, everyone. Today is another session in our series about career development, and our guest is Vusala Hasanova. And actually, I think she will introduce herself. So the floor is yours, Vusala Hanım.
Okay, shall I amend? Okay. I just want to share my screen and then I will continue. If you see the screen, just say yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So good evening, everyone. I'm Vusala Hasanova, and I'm trying to talk about the topic. But before that, I really want to introduce myself. Vusala Hasanova from Shiki, Azerbaijan State Pedagogical University, Shiki branch, and with more than 16 years of teaching experience, starting as a school teacher in 2007, with 5 years of experience in secondary school, and then I continue my career at university as a university teacher. Right now, I'm at the last stage of my PhD, and for academic purposes, I'm writing articles related to the topic that I have taken for my PhD, and any additional ones that related to the teaching background and the language background. And currently, I'm also working to develop my teaching career and being the part of the programs that related to English teaching and learning and conveying whatever I have learned through the different portals to other teachers in order to help them. So my title today will be One Career and Two CVs. So we'll go deeper to understand how to write and what to understand in terms of academic and teaching profiles. And the audience, yeah, obviously that is ALT specialists and university instructors and teacher educators and curriculum developers. And today's learning objectives will, again, understand what to include in a CV and how to format it effectively. And then we'll try to distinguish between academic and teaching CVs, and then identify key sections and content differences, and then learn strategies to highlight achievements for research or teaching roles, and explore tools and approaches to refine and update our CVs. For agenda, for context and rational, we'll go deeper for the academic CV and then teaching CV. And we'll try to compare them, and we'll make some comparisons. And if we have time, if time limitation is not that rush, and we will try to do some drafting strategies together. And then a reflection, and will be Q&A part of this session, and we'll listen and take some questions from you in order to answer. And again, writing CV and formatting tips, and what to include the CV, academic and teaching, and purpose and audience. So those are the keys that we'll cover today. Just brief question before starting going deeper. I really want you to answer this question. That would be better if you use the chat of Zoom so that we get aware. How many of you already have a CV? And do you use the same one for every job application? And then I will share my story with you. And I will read it if you are really active in terms of writing about your opinions. And I really appreciate it if you be active so that the session will be interactive enough. Good evening, everyone. And the question is, how many of you already have a CV? And do you use the same one for every job applications? You don't have, okay, yeah, which is good. That's a good spot that you are here today. Anybody else? Ayşen Hanım, is my voice is too loud or too low? Okay, in such a time you have never ever written good. Good that you're here and we'll learn a bit more. It's good. Thank you. Sorry, low. Okay. But you would like to prepare it. Okay. So let's understand why I have chosen the topic. I really want to share my story with you. It was back 2012, and that was my 5th year as a teacher at school. But it was a period of time for the presidential election. And, for the election, we have some observers from different organizations around the world. And the Organization for Security and Communication in Europe, they were in Sheki, the city that I'm living, and they are trying to find someone who will be like assistant for the short-term observers as a translator. And the first requirement for them is like to submit CV. So I couldn't use back then the internet that much. And then I went there and handed in my CV. And then I came back and I put all my details definitely. And they called me 2 days later. And then I was really euphoric, and I went there and saw that actually whenever I entered there, and the first question they gave me is, do you think that we are trying to find a good teacher or a translator? So I couldn't catch the question actually, and I tried to understand what they're talking about. And I said, definitely translator. And I see whenever I look through your application or the CV format, I thought that you are applying for being a teacher because you put all the details related to your teaching background, and you wrote all qualifications that you have got and all, the certificates, and you put there, but you haven't mentioned anything related to your translation background. We will choose you definitely, but not because that your CV is good, just because you are the only one that we have or employ for this position, because back then not that many people actually could speak English. And then after that, I understood actually whatever I should put on that CV wasn't or shouldn't be about my teaching background, or should be about the translating more. And I can put there like the background related to the level of my English, or some qualification tests related to the English background, or proficiency tests probably, but definitely not teaching. So from that time on, I tried to prepare my own CV for 2 formats. And then for different purposes, I have used it. I have updated it definitely. But again, that time is a really good lesson for me to understand that CVs shouldn't be applicable for every position. It should be different for each position that we are applying. And I want to change my slide. Okay, so the first we'll talk about the importance of a CV, and a well-written CV can help you get your dream job and earn a higher salary definitely and achieve career success. And writing a good CV isn't easy. It's kind of a craft, we can say. It must be strategic, structured, and tailored to the job. And before that, we shouldn't just put whatever we have in our mind in terms of teaching, or, in any job that we're applying for. But before that, we should do like pre-CV research. So research for job adverts before writing your CV, because each job, even if that is for teaching, their requirement can be different. So we should look through their requirement, and we should take into account the eligibility, and then we start to write down and identify key hard skills. So software qualification, technical tasks, so those are hard skills. But we should focus on soft skills less, because as we know, the motivational teamwork, collaboration, those are the soft skills that in any job, for any job that's applicable. But if you are trying to get the job, we should focus on key hard skills more. And then we'll try to match CV content with in-demand skills in our target field. And for the formatting, we will say we use the Google Docs and Microsoft Word to create our CV. And then we'll choose simple readable fonts like Arial, Blink, or Roboto, or most of the time we use like New Times Romans, and stick to black text on a white background for clarity. And also we use short sentences and bullet points for readability. And we will add a touch of color like headers, sideboards, if applying to creative or modern campaigns. So I personally get rid of it and I skipped this part in order to add like, especially that's a goodie color. So I try to make it like really simple, black and white background. And even if I'm applying for the modern campaign, but if you want to make your CV like stand out, if you have any color that you think that it's actually can be put there, you can use it. In terms of CV lengths, we will say the ideal length is around 2 pages if that is a teaching one, but if that is academic one, it actually go up to 10 pages, even longer, depending on our career. And we will use clear headings and sections with bold titles or lines. And name and contact details, that's really important. If you want to get it, we shouldn't skip this part. And we will write our name and professional title, phone number, email, and location. And we will use a professional email, and we should get rid of that ridiculous nicknames for the professional email. If we do not have, please start from there and create your own professional email. Otherwise, the first thing that they can see is like this ridiculous nicknames. And we can add LinkedIn or portfolio links if relevant. And we should avoid unnecessary details. We don't need to write the full address, date of birth, or gender, no need. And in terms of photo, that is optional actually. If the requirement for this job that we are applying, if they need it, we can put it. But mostly, especially for recent ones, I have never ever seen. They just put their names and the information, the personal information there, as we mentioned. And if you think that it looks professional, if your photo is professional enough in order to put your CV, you can do it. But it should fit like cultural norms. And CV profile and personal statement, this part is really important. And a short introductory paragraph, which will be like 5 up to 10 lines at the top of your CV. And that's the first part that, the employers will always see it, or human resources managers will always look through the first introductory paragraph, because they will try to understand that what qualifications you have and what do you want to mention in terms of being chosen. And it should grab attention and should summarize key skills that you have, and experience and industry knowledge and value you bring to the employers. That would be about your recent applications, your recent CVs, and your last jobs that you have done. And please avoid cliches like hardworking team player. Again, those are the soft skills, or I was like a good leader. So those are the cliches that, especially today, they are not eye-catching. They are like the things that everyone, especially the human resources professionals, they don't want to see it, because they want to see the original CV or the personal statement. And focus on facts and achievements and relevance. So don't exaggerate anything, or don't underestimate your power either. So you should make a balance between your power and your achievements. And also you should actually try not to think that much highly about yourself, and try to make a balance in between. Core skills section is really important too. And we should add like a bullet points list, 2 columns especially, and the shortest job relevant skills. And these should be like, we should keep each point under 4 words, basically 2 words. And if we want to add more, please don't exceed the limit for words. And then it helps actually recruiters quickly identify your expertise and update this section for every job you apply to. So if you have core skills, if you have written the application for the teaching, the core skills will be different. If you're trying to apply for the translating, that's again different. So this part, especially this part, should be tailored according to which job position you're applying for. And work experience section. And list job in reverse order. It means that you should put your last job for first line and the others afterwards. So it should include job title and company and dates, and also brief summary of the role and company, and 5 up to 2 bullet points describing duties and skills that you use there, and 2 for key achievements with results or numbers if possible. If not, you just skip this part. And again, if we are trying to indicate our experience, we should begin from the recent ones, and please put all the necessary information related to the recent ones more, rather than the older ones. If you think that your older job, the first job, is that much fancy to put first line, that's not good. So you should begin the recent one so that they see that which one is recent and which actual skills you have and you have applied recently. An education section and list relevant qualifications and dates, please. And for experienced candidates, please keep it short. We have teachers here too that they have like more years as a teacher, more than me too. So they are qualified as like experienced candidates, and they have a list of, the qualifications they have get, and then we are getting the things from Zoom and from different platforms. We have so many certificates, so no need to put all of them there. Just try to keep it short, and please put the things that you think that really important. And for recent graduates, include projects, hours, and coursework. So if you think that I'm recently graduated from the university and I don't have that much experience in terms of teaching or the application or the job application that I'm writing a CV for, just try to include projects or volunteer works or hours that you have get or the courseworks that you have done. An additional information section, and that's really important too. And that's also optional, we should keep in mind, because if that is the thing that can strengthen your application, you can put it there. But if you think that there's not that much difference in terms of putting them there, just skip this part. And the example can be for additional format hours and publications, especially if you are applying for a teaching career, no need for publications. But if you are applying for the academic purposes, and your CV should definitely have the publications. Certification, again, put the most important things that related to the job we are applying. And relevant hobbies and languages, especially this part, I think should be skipped. Unless that the human resources manager will look it through and say, okay, this person have this additional hobby. And if we employ him, if we hire him or her, he will definitely contribute to our company for it, using this hobby. Otherwise, no need to put this hobby there. And technical list, especially for this period of time that we're living and constantly surrounded with the technology. That's good. If you have the technical list, you can put it there, the programming skills. For example, for teaching, we can add some online formatting applications that we are very expertise in. Or we can say that which platforms we are using in terms of teaching and which tools we are aware of. So if you think that that's really relevant for the application, for the CV, you can put it there. And the final steps, after you have already write it, there are so many different, programs that we can put actually the CV and check it, proofread it for grammar and spelling errors. The Grammarly is a good site for it. Even if that's paid, it really works. But if you don't have any paid application for checking our grammar spelling, we can do the pure proofreading, or we can actually send it to someone who we know that they are really good for this job. And we can also use the Google Docs, because we know that Google Docs are really good. They will definitely underline the parts that to give the suggestions on in terms of quotation marks or the spelling errors or the lexical errors, that which words should be used instead of which, so that you can look through and you can do proofread by yourself too. And tailor your CV slightly for each job again. So that is the last touch that we should do, even if you have written it according to whatever the eligibility and the demand or requirement is. That's better to look through it again at the end in order to make the last draft. And if we summarize whatever we have talked, and common CV sections will be contact information and personal profile and summary and education, definitely, and work experience and professional experience, and the skills that we have, and certification and training and publications, if that is applicable, that's also applicable for the academic CVs, and research experience, again, if that is academic CVs, and conferences and presentations, which is applicable for both, and hours and honors, which is good to put there. And again, language. So if we are applying for the company, which is international, so putting there all your language background, that's good, because they will look through and they will try to understand which language levels, what in terms of professionalism, and then they will check this proficiency, and that's the reason we should be very down to earth. So don't exaggerate anything, and try to put which the level is there. And I want to continue, and I will make you like to work a bit more, and please try what do you think about this idiom? Pass with flying colors, in order to continue the next part of this session. Pass with flying colors. Do you have an idea about this idiom? Get high score, great. Yes, Jonathan. Yes, any other idea? Okay, so the next question might be, what do you think? Do you think that it is applicable for teaching or academy? Yes, to succeed brilliantly. That's the meaning of this idiom. And we should know that this is actually mostly applicable for academic purposes, because we are getting A plus, right? So we are writing different articles to different journals, and if the article got the promotion, we really become like euphoric. And so yes, we will try to understand academic career. And the main focus for academic career is research and teaching and scholarship. So academic career isn't just about the research, or it is not just about scholarship, and teaching is a part of it. But again, teaching is not basically the first thing there. Research is the first, and then teaching, because we'll be the university teacher, and the scholarship. And primary goals is like advancing knowledge through research and publication. And main duties will be conducting research and publishing papers, teaching at universities, supervising theses, and workplace, definitely universities and research institutions. And evaluation criteria, research output, publication record, academic service grant, and students will be different from teaching career, because this mostly undergraduate and postgraduate bachelor, masters, and PhDs. And example roles for the academy, they will be like lecturer and assistant, professor, research fellow or scientist, an associate or full professor, dean, academic advisor. And what do you think about this picture now? If you have any idea, you just put it on the chat, and that would be very appreciative if you put your ideas there and be interactive enough. Burn candles, yes, yes. And it's I just want to give a clue that it's actually an idiom again. And we see a candle there, but that's not a normal one, right? So we're actually trying to burn both sides. Exactly. Yes. So that's what I want to say. And burn the candles at both ends. And that's another idiom. Light positive and negative sides. That's really good, a really good idea. It's very interesting for me. It's very interesting for you to understand the idiom probably. And teacher-like, exactly, Nishabahan, that's applicable for teachers. Teachers are the ones that who are trying to work all the time. You know, we are as teachers, we are trying to handle the household chores, and we are mothers and sometimes fathers, and we are the ones that who try to regulate the teaching every day, the planning, and even not one plan. For according to the class, we are trying to differentiate the materials and trying to make like A planning, B planning, C planning. So thankfully, we have AI that help us for different purposes. But again, even if we have AI and even if we have like less burden than 2 or 3 years before, but again, we are both mothers and the teachers, and we are humans too. So that's the reason we are the ones who burn the candle at both ends all the time. And its meaning is to work excessively hard and stay up late and get up early. Definitely those are teaching career, and main focus for teaching career will be different from academic ones because it's mostly instructions and learning outcomes. So aspect, again, teaching career, and primary goal is like delivering lesson effectively and supporting student learning. So they are the people that we are mostly responsible for, and we are there for them to instruct them and give them the right path to walk on. And main duties are lesson planning and classroom teaching, assessing learners, managing learning environment. And workplace might be schools, language centers, vocational institutions, and training programs. And evaluation criteria with classroom performance, especially this part is very important. If we are trying to apply for any job position, the last part of it, after checking the background, after checking the theoretical issues that related to, this classroom management or about the regulating the materials, lesson planning. After those, which is theoretical mostly, they are trying to be part of your lesson and they want to see your demo lessons and see your classroom performance. And student feedback is really important too, and the lesson outcomes. And student taught are mostly school age learners. And if you are teaching language, that's adults too, or language learners. An example roles will be, that's not a secret, that English as second language or English foreign language instructor, and school teacher, and curriculum designer, and teacher trainer, which is different from the academic one. So if we summarize between the academic career and the teaching career, for the academic career, our focus will be knowledge creation. So we are researching something, we are trying to share this research through the academic articles in order to make everyone to be beneficial. And for teaching, that will be knowledge delivery. So we have already learned, but we want to convey whatever we know in terms of any topic to the students. And core skills for the academic one will be research, publication, and critical analysis. But for the teachers will be pedagogy, communication, classroom management. And for outputs for the academic career will be journals, articles, conferences, and supervision. For teaching, that will be lesson plans and student progress and assessment results. So we will be evaluated according to whatever we have conveyed in terms of teaching. In that point, I really want to differentiate between CV and the resume, because personally, I think CV is like more profound. And if you look through the definition of it, and it is a comprehensive document that details a person's entire academic professional history, including education, research, publication, teaching hours, so many things to put here, and it's longer enough, the longer than we expected. But it's more than resume. For teaching purposes, I don't think that we need that much longer application or the CV. But for resume will say it's a short and targeted document that presents person skills and work experience, education achievements relevant to a specific job position. So it's typically 1 to 2 pages long and is designed to show employers why the candidate is suitable for the role. So those two are different. That's the reason I personally think if you are trying to write a CV for the academic purposes, its name is CV. If we are trying to write it for teaching purposes, its name is resume. And resume is shorter and academic CV is longer. For purpose, for academic CV, that will present a complete record of academic achievements and research contributions. For the resume, we will summarize skills and experiences to a specific job. And the lengths, academic CV will be longer and detailed, and usually 5 up to 10, even 10 plus pages. But for resume, that will be short and concise, and again, we'll put there the qualification which we think that which is suitable for the job that we are applying. And content focus, and that will be research, publications, and teaching grants and academic stories for academic CV. And for resume, that will be work experience, practical skills, and measurable achievements. Audience, that will be different too. For the academic CV, that will be universities, because we'll give the university our CVs or research institutions and academic committees. But for the resume, the employers and recruiters or human resource managers in various sectors. And tone and style will be different. For academic CV, that will be formal, evidence-based, and scholarly mostly. But for the resume, that will be dynamic and result-oriented and professional. And customization, again, for the academic CV, that will continuously, we should update it because we are, issuing different articles monthly or yearly, so that we should put them there. And for the resume, you just prepare it, but if you have something to add up according to the job that you're applying for, we tailor it for each specific job application. And I really want to look through an example right now together with you, so that to give an idea of what the differences is. And I want to say that that's not a real thing that I'm trying to share with you. It's just about me, but I didn't put all the real information there. I just want to give you an idea about the differences. Let's look through the four. I'll just look through 3 or 4, the subheadings here for both formats. And for academic CV, if that is profile and summary, let's read it. Experienced researcher and lecturer, specializing in phonology and language acquisition, with a strong record of publications, conference presentations, and grant-funded research projects, and skilled in designing academic courses and mentoring students. So that is the profile for academy. So let's see the one which is applicable for teaching. So we'll look through the teaching professional summary, and the format is different right now. Dedicated English teacher with 10 plus years of classroom experience, skilled in lesson planning and student engagement and language assessment, and experience in teaching diverse learners and designing interactive activities to improve learning outcome. The one before that we have shared in terms of academic, that's, that is kind of the thing that which shows that in which part of research you're good at. So it's actually giving an idea that you are trying to convey the idea that you are good at enough for the research and conveying whatever you have done through articles. But for professional summary for teaching, that's different. So it means that you should show them practically that in which parts of teaching you're good at. So let's continue and do the second part, core skills. If you are trying to identify Vusala in terms of academic, we will say that she is, phonological analysis and experimental research. She is good at it, and curriculum design and course development, and academic writing and publications, and data analysis, and conference presentations, which should be, related to the article issues, and public speaking, and multilingual, and Azerbaijani, English, and Russian. For core skills of teaching, it's a bit different. So that's lesson planning, curriculum design, classroom management and student motivation, and language assessment and evaluation. Online and blended learning platform is the one that we all do, Zoom, Google Classroom, and language proficiency. And that we should put the proficiency level there. And we should also can add, which is the same for both, that we should say the multilingual, Azerbaijani, English, Russian. So that's applicable for both. So the only thing which is the same is this part, right? The others is different. And the color is different, the sounding is different. And education. For education, I'll write PhD in applied linguistics, Baku State University, or wherever we are, getting our PhD. And the thesis, we will write the thesis, and we will try also to add that when it was actually given to us, or so on and so forth. But for teaching, we'll add our work experience. Senior English teacher, Baku International School, and developed and implemented curriculum for grades 6 up to 12 or 11, conducted interactive lessons to improve students' participation, and mentors junior teachers and provided professional development workshops. So for the education and certification, you can do both the same, and achievements are different. And especially I want to talk about the last part, which is references. So for the references part, we see that for academic purposes, we will add the professor there. Leyla Ahmedova, for example, Mamedova, Department of English, Baku State University. We should put there the email address or Gmail address so that they can actually apply, or another person. So this reference is good because if they have any hesitation about you, they can apply those people and ask some information about you. For a teacher, that will be different. And you will say, Mr. David Johnson, for example, director, Baku International School. And you will put it because this is the person that will actually constantly absorb your lessons and know that what kind of teacher you are, and what you have done for teachers, and how good you are in terms of conveying the materials, in terms of language background, how proficient you are in terms of language learning and teaching. So another person, for example, the head of English department. So if there is a department school, so you can put their name there. And if you are, if you don't have any hesitation that they will actually rave about you, so you can put their Gmails there too. And those are just an example. I really wanted to show it to you, and if you need, I can send it to the group too, so that you can look through. And the last parts we are approaching. So key takeaways. I really want you to open your microphones after this part, and try to feel free to ask any question that you want. And for key takeaways, we can say that we try to include and format effectively, try to convey whatever we have done in terms of CV writing. And we also try to differentiate between academic and teaching CVs. And we try to highlight the key sections there and they show achievements strategically. So for academic and teaching, that's different. So we will try to show you that how to show your achievements strategically. And using tools and update regularly. So we have actually different tools. And I can say that if you want to go deeper in terms of CV writing, those are good sites that you can apply. And I try to make it like a hyperlink so that whenever you click on it, you can go there, but I couldn't do it. But I will just, if you put their names on Google, you can go through and you can actually take so many templates in terms of teaching and academic purposes. And if you are trying to get another job, like the translating as me, so you can also look through them. You can definitely find the template, which is really according to the format that I have shared, because those are the resources I have learned and try to research in order to convey whatever I have learned with you. So those are the things, the sites that you can see. And they also have some tutorials, which is in the video format. So if you have, if you don't have that much time and if you are doing something at home and you want to listen and understand, you can actually go through and use the video format of YouTube videos for these sites. And the references in terms of book, those are the books that I have shared, and they are really good, especially the second one. That's the one that I used as kind of PhD career roadmap because I'm the PhD student, so I tried to use this book mostly. And if you need, I can share its pages too. And that is PDF format, so you can actually download it. That's all. And I really want to continue the questions. And if you have any question, feel free to ask me. And I will be really happy to answer your questions too. Please, if you have any question, you just raise your hand, or you can write in the chat.
Everything was so comprehensive and clear that they don't have any questions, maybe.
Or they haven't listened that much. They
No,
have two
no.
parts, yeah. Okay. So again, teachers, feel free to ask your questions in the group too if you have any questions, or I will send, should we include a picture in the CV? Yes, that's the question that I have covered, but I really want to go back and say again. Recently, I have looked through so many templates, and I have seen that they have included the picture if there is a requirement. So in some job applications, in some job descriptions, they actually ask you to put the picture there. And they, again, the requirement is like, if that is professional enough. So you should put the picture if you want, but you should also think about, if I'm putting this picture there, will it be like professional? Will it be according to whatever you have written there or not? If you want, you can put, but that's optional again. And it is according to the requirement. And if that is the answer to your question. Thank you so much, Nezahet Manu. And any other question? Okay. No
Okay,
question.
Vusala Hanım, if they have, okay, no questions.
Okay. Thank you so
It,
much, Tahir.
it
Yeah.
was so nice. Thank you so much again for joining today's session and giving our educators such detailed and provided with examples, information about how to put together all this information and to make a great CV or resume. Thank you so much for sharing this information with our
My
educators.
pleasure. My pleasure to be with you and to be part of this session and to see the teachers, the new ones and the old ones all together. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So see you next
See you.
time in
See you.
our
Bye.
next session. Goodbye.
Goodbye.